All right, so we're back. However, with a new series, The Impact of Vision with Leadership. Many people would not understand the whole dynamics and moving parts to this. However, we'll slowly unpack this. We'll see what happens at the end of the series. Hopefully, it'll enlighten you in the sense of just saying, hey, maybe I picked up a couple of different things that I wasn't aware of. And now that you're aware of them, maybe a couple of small tweaks. Don't have to take a wrecking ball to the whole approach of what you're potentially trying to accomplish with what you're doing in the roles that you're in. So, a little bit of a graphic here, but this is just showing you what happens when you got a vision. So, ready to getting into it. So, how is it to lead? Well, many times we always hear, well, I have a mentor, need mentors. Well, that's one thing to have. However, are they the right mentors or the right resources or influences in your life to actually get you to where you want to go? So here's the question. To have a direction is one thing, but when you really want to break it down, to have a vision is completely different. So if you have direction and you have a vision, do they line up? Are they actually moving in the right direction? Are they all over the place? I don't know, but you do. So what ends up happening is if you have a direction and you know that you want to get there, but you don't have the vision and things are not actually lining up, what's happening is that you're trying to get into a place of achievement or of a destination. However, you're still lost in the sense of not having anyone to buy into it. So you're essentially one person competing a bunch of teams. Many people out there are accomplishing great things, not on themselves alone efforts, but with an effort of a team and sometimes even an army. So be aware of this. So to have no sight yet a vision is better than having sight with no vision. What does this mean? Literally, like your vision, your sight. So if you actually have a vision, but you cannot see, but you can lead others, you can guide others, you can, get that cadence going. That's great. But if you can actually see, but you have no direction on where you want to go, or you don't have a passion of a vision of where you want to try and accomplish in the next week, quarter, year, 2 years, it could be very detrimental. So something to keep in mind. So what does this all mean? Well, it's actually knowing where you are, understanding your goal and what you're trying to accomplish, and where's the start? See, if you know where you are, you have a starting point. If you know where you want to go, then you have at least a destination. Then what ends up happening is that you have that somewhat of a path, okay? So to understand what it'll take and the costs is another level in itself. Because if you have a goal and you want to accomplish it, that's only the start. However, to understand what you're trying to do and where you're trying to go and how you're trying to get there and what does that journey look like, that's the whole part of cost. So many want the reward, but the responsibility or to be accountable for the reward that they desire, that's never going to happen. It's not going to happen. So how can I lead? Where do I start? Well, I just really want to try and help you to see things, have a vision as a starting point. Unfortunately, some people never even get to this part. They don't even have a vision. Some people have a vision, and fear, self-doubt is enough to keep them from not even pursuing their vision. So they're their own worst enemies, okay? So if you have a vision, where do you start? You really want to help others see the potential and that opportunity of being able to pursue it because you know you can achieve it. This will allow them to achieve their vision to a certain point, which means that individual or yourself. But remember, you can't accomplish anything or a large thing on your own. You have to be able to move and adjust and accommodate to not just certain people and to certain things of what the market is placing or what life is placing. You have to be able to continue on pushing through. And so what's going to happen is that most of the time you're going to have to acquire a strategic team. Okay. So lastly, these types of people that help others see the vision create a following. And that's basically what it all comes down to, is you want to be able to create that following. You want to be able to understand, okay, now that the foundation is here, let's just roll this out and push on forward. And believe it or not, we're on to part 2. This one's going to be a short one. This is an intro. This is just what we just wanted to try and get your feet wet. So without further ado, next week, the Impact of Vision with Leadership Part 2. We're back at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. Until next time, work hard.